That shit right there got scary. But either way, the Rams' Super Bowl aspirations are still well and alive as they squeak out a win against Carolina 34-31. I am ankle breaking coverage, and we are going to dive in this electric game that just occurred in Carolina. Now, resulting from this game, I have got to give my flowers out to Carolina and Bryce Young in his first ever playoff appearance. That was actually a great game. That was electric, and that is something that I did not personally expect. I didn't think this was going to be a close game. I thought this was going to be one of the stinkers of the playoffs, but that ended up maybe being, it was the first game, don't get me wrong, but that I think that could be up for game of the week for sure. But I have got to give my flowers to Carolina first. Now, this crowd came to play early. They came out hot, electric, and loud. And I think a lot of that has to do with Cam Newton's return as he finally went back to Carolina after all these years. It gave them the juice and pop that they certainly needed. And when I tell you that brother Bryce Young fed off of that energy, well, Bryce Young and Jalen Coker had amazing games today, career games today. Their first ever playoff appearances, they went out with a bang. Unfortunately, they did end up losing, but they went out with a bang for sure. Bryce Young had 288 total yards, 2 total touchdowns. He did throw an interception, but in my personal opinion, I think the wide receiver has to keep running his route. You cannot sit and not run your route anymore. So that's where that interception came from. That interception, I believe, was more on the wide receiver than it was Bryce Young. But regardless, a career day for Bryce Young in his first ever playoff appearance. And Jalen Coker, 9 receptions, 134 yards, and a touchdown. That brother was hot. That is a great pickup from Carolina. I don't think anybody expected him to be as good as he has been for this Panthers team, but man, he has showed out. Shout out to the Panthers defense and their special teams as well. Mike Jackson with the only interception for Carolina. He came through big. That entire secondary came through big. They was locking shit up in that second half, 1,000%. And only 73 return yards for this game. I know a lot of you guys are not going to really care about that aspect very much, but I honestly think that is pretty good in today's NFL considering the new kickoff rules and that block punt that set up that Jalen Coker touchdown. So great ball from all 3 phases for Carolina. I loved what I seen out of them today. Now moving on to the winners, the Rams. That 100% worried me. That game definitely worried me because I have them as my Super Bowl winners. So seeing them kind of juggling around with the Panthers, it's not making me very confident about my pick as we sit here right now. I think it's important to note that Matthew Stafford did end up hurting his finger or something to do with his hand because he was throwing the ball a little bit wonky ever since that injury. Outside of that last drive, he was throwing dot after dot after dot. I guess he said, fuck it. I'm going to actually throw this motherfucker and show y'all why I am the MVP of this league. Matthew Stafford, I think he had a great first half, and mainly in that third quarter, a little bit, it bled out into a little bit of the fourth quarter. Him and this offense definitely did just kind of stall out. And maybe that is me underestimating how good that Panthers defense actually was. I didn't think that they were that good, but they did a great job putting pressure on Matthew Stafford. They did a great job disrupting anything to do with the pass game. And this game was so close that you couldn't really just sit there and try to bleed the clock out and run the ball all game. So I think that's, once again, I just think the Panthers played a great game. And it surprised the Rams a little bit as well. I think it surprised the Rams a little bit as well. But you take a W whatever way you can get when it comes to the playoffs, especially considering the Rams will likely be on the road no matter who they play this entire playoffs. So good win. No matter how it happened, they won. They survived another week. They are still here to play football next week in the divisional round. Like I said, you take a win however you can get it. But, man, Carolina as my second most liked team in the NFL, because we don't do favorites. You know, my only favorite is the Jaguars. We don't do second favorites. As my second most liked team in the NFL, I am proud of the way you guys showed up. And great win for the Rams. No matter how it came, you still put your foot down and you won this game. Not convincingly, but you won this game, and that's all that matters, man. My name is Ankle Breaking Coverage. That's all that I have for you guys today, man. Make sure you guys watch the rest of the football for tonight, and stay tuned for more videos just like this. Peace out.